unless you happen to be in the military, know somebody in the military, or possibly work on a military installation somewhere. If you're interested in buying MREs, you're more than likely going to have to go to the secondary market, as the U.S. Government Property Commercial Resale is Unlawful notice mentioned these aren't supposed to be sold commercially. They're still readily found on places like eBay and Amazon. One of the problems with buying them through those sources is you don't really know the history of what you're buying. If you buy a case of MREs on eBay, hopefully they're going to give you pictures to show you what you're getting. And you'll be able to see the date that it was packed. Most likely that information will be in a date code right here where it says date packed. The inspection date is usually a little bit easier to read. But even though you know that this one here was packaged on the 300th day of 2011, meaning it's about 2.5 years old when this video was made, you don't necessarily know if this was stored in an appropriate way. If it was stored in a cool basement that whole time, which would mean most likely that it's still good. Or you don't know if this might have been stored in the trunk of somebody's car for a couple of months in 90-degree weather. All you can do is take their word for it. They're obviously going to say it was stored appropriately. That's pretty much out of your hand, but one of the few things you can do is if you are buying a case, it's not going to help you when you're buying individual MREs, but with a case, genuine MRE cases, I don't know if commercial ones do this or not, but in the genuine MRE cases, they have this little sticker on here. This is called a time and temperature indicator, or TTI. This one's in pretty rough shape. This is something they put on MRE cases to give an indication of how well it was stored and what kind of shelf life it has left. It's not a be-all end-all. I wouldn't base all my MRE decisions on this one little sticker, but it's a helpful little thing. You can see on this graphic from MREinfo.com, which shows it a lot more clear than my little sticker does, that when this is new, it's an orange background with a black circle in the middle. In the middle of that circle, which is orange, will darken over time, and I believe it's also sensitive to heat, so it will darken quicker if the temperature is too high. If the outer circle and the inner circle are the same color, I think you're stretching it at that point. And what you don't want to see is you don't want to see the inner circle darker than the outer circle. It doesn't necessarily mean that the MRE is going to kill you, but it's an indication that they weren't stored properly and that it's not something that you are going to want to eat. So like I said, the TTI isn't the only thing to look for, the only thing to go by, and of course on a lot of commercial cases and on individual MREs you're not even going to get that anyway. But if you are buying a case of genuine issue MREs, it's just another method to try and gauge whether a sealed case is worth buying or not.